My husband's family accidentally added me to their group chat, and 10 minutes later, I knew exactly who he'd been seeing every Thursday for the last 8 months. My name is Sarah. I've been married to Mark for 6 years. His family is incredibly close. Weekly dinners, holiday gatherings, endless group chats. His mom, Diane, basically runs the family. I was always included and thought they genuinely considered me one of their own. Every Thursday, Mark played poker with his friends. He'd done it for years, so I never questioned it. Looking back, there were signs something was off. He suddenly joined a gym but never seemed to work out. He started keeping his phone face down. Thursday nights got later and later, but I trusted him, so I ignored it. Last month, Mark's cousin Jenna created a separate group chat to plan a surprise birthday party for Diane. She meant to add her coworker Sarah. Instead, she accidentally added me. I didn't notice for 2 days. Then during lunch at work, I opened the chat out of boredom. The first message I saw made my stomach drop. Bro, still seeing the bartender, Diane, covering for him again tonight. I stared at the screen. Then I started scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. For 8 months, Mark had been having an affair with a bartender named Kayla. Worse, his family knew about it. His mother knew, his brother knew, several cousins knew. They joked about it. They covered for him. Diane even reminded him when to come home so I wouldn't get suspicious. One message hit harder than all the others. He's gonna leave Sarah once the lease is up. Don't say anything yet. I sat in my car reading everything 3 times just to make sure I wasn't imagining it. 2 years earlier, when Mark lost his job, I worked extra shifts for almost a year to help us keep our house. Last year, I used my work bonus to pay off the remaining $6,000 of his student loans. I had spent years supporting him while he and his family lied to my face. I didn't confront him. Instead, I took screenshots of every message. I saved backups in multiple places. Then I called a lawyer. Over the next 2 weeks, I quietly gathered financial records and learned exactly what my options were. I also moved half of our joint savings into a separate account, which my lawyer confirmed I was legally allowed to do. Meanwhile, Mark continued acting like nothing was wrong. Every Thursday, he left for poker. Every Thursday, I knew exactly where he was really going. The hardest part wasn't the affair. It was sitting across from his family at Sunday dinners, knowing they all knew the truth. They smiled at me, asked about work, complimented my cooking, and acted completely normal. Finally, I decided I wasn't going to confront Mark privately. If his family had helped create the lie, they could all hear the truth together. A few weeks later, everyone gathered for Diane's birthday dinner. The entire family was there. Halfway through dessert, I stood up and said I wanted to share something. Then I pulled out my tablet. I started reading the messages aloud, every joke, every excuse, every reference to Kayla, every message about hiding the affair. The room went silent. Diane tried interrupting me twice. I ignored her and kept reading. Mark looked like he had seen a ghost. Several relatives who hadn't known about the affair looked completely shocked. When I finished, I set down my tablet and said, I just wanted everyone to be as informed as I've been these last few weeks. Then I picked up my coat and left. What happened afterwards surprised me. The family didn't defend Mark. They turned on him. Several relatives were furious that Diane had helped hide the affair. His aunt openly told Diane she was disgusted by her behavior. Other family members stopped speaking to Mark entirely. 3 weeks later, Mark moved out. The funniest part, he didn't move in with Kayla. She had discovered he was feeding her the exact same story he'd been feeding me. He kept telling her he was leaving his wife soon, but he'd been saying that for nearly a year. Once she learned the truth, she blocked his number. The divorce process moved quickly after that. I kept the house. I kept the money I had legally separated beforehand. And on the day the divorce became official, I left the family group chat. This time, it wasn't because someone accidentally added me. It was because I finally chose to leave. Funny how life works. A group chat I was never supposed to see ended up giving me my freedom. Sometimes the worst mistake someone makes becomes the best thing that ever happens to you.